If you're an HR leader, there's a good chance your world is going to be rocked by AI in the beginning of 2026. The rate of AI development and deployment will grow by 100x in 2026, and it will continue to grow by that breakneck speed beyond that. Will you be ready? Welcome to the SmartExec, executive-level insight on people, performance, and leadership in a world reshaped by AI. I'm Jim Hazboun, I'm CEO of EXXEED, and I'm your host. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the most important predictions for HR in 2026 and exactly what CHROs must do to turn AI-driven disruption into a strategic advantage. These predictions are based on what AI is already automating in real HR work, the questions that CEOs and boards are already asking HR to answer, and the patterns emerging from early adopters who are redesigning roles before disruption forces their hand. Let us jump right into the list. The first area is compensation. Comp analysis as a standalone function will largely disappear by 2026. AI already performs market pricing, equity modeling, compensation analysis, and scenario planning faster and with fewer blind spots than humans. What is being disrupted is not comp itself, but the traditional value proposition of compensation teams. The future of compensation is not calculation, it's judgment. Organizations will still need humans to weigh the costs of fairness, retention, and culture, but they will no longer tolerate teams whose primary contribution is building models instead of providing guidance on decision-making. What you need to do is mandate that every compensation decision presented to executives includes multiple AI-generated scenarios with explicit trade-offs. Require comp leaders to deliver a concise decision brief explaining the recommendation, the risks of alternatives, and the employee impact. Standardize how managers communicate pay decisions so explanations are clear, consistent, and transparent. The second area is in the area of benefits. Benefits will largely shift from administrative to experience design, or the role will shrink significantly. AI can already answer employee questions, compare plans, flag compliance risks, and analyze utilization patterns in real time. This removes the need for much of the administrative work that once defined benefits roles. What remains is the strategic decision of which benefits actually matter, which reduce stress, and which reinforce the employer value proposition. Organizations that treat benefits as a checklist will waste money and lose trust. So what you need to do is use AI to rank benefits utilization, retention impact, and stress reduction. Eliminate low-impact benefits that add complexity without value. Proactively communicate why each benefit exists, who it serves, and how it supports employee well-being. The third area is in the area of recruiting and talent acquisition. So recruiting will probably be the most visibly disrupted HR function of all. Sourcing, screening, and scheduling will be automated by default and not seen as real innovation, but as baseline capability. The real disruption happens upstream. AI exposes how often hiring fails because roles are poorly defined, success criteria are unclear, and stakeholders are misaligned. So recruiting will either move upstream into role design and workforce strategy, or be reduced to a completely transactional function with declining influence. The steps you need to take are requiring role clarity and success criteria before approving any requisition. Adopt AI platforms like Alchemist AI to improve hiring predictability before candidates enter the funnel. Redefine recruiters' success around quality of hire and speed to productivity rather than activity volume. The fourth area is in the area of HR business partners. So AI will outperform HR business partners at diagnostics, reporting, and pattern detection. Engagement trends, attrition risks, manager effectiveness, and performance signals will be surfaced automatically. This eliminates the traditional reporting value of the role. What remains is influence. HR business partners who cannot interpret insights, challenge leaders, and guide decisions will be bypassed. Those who will become more valuable than ever. So what you need to do is deploy AI to identify attrition risk, leadership gaps, and engagement patterns early. Require HR business partners to bring a small number of forward-looking insights and a clear recommendation into leadership meetings. Train HR business partners to frame insights as business risks leaders can act upon immediately. The fifth area is in the area of OD, learning and leadership development. I'm going to combine them all under the umbrella of OD. Generic one-size-fits-all programs will collapse. AI can already personalize learning, simulate leadership scenarios, and measure capability growth continuously. This makes traditional program-based learning inefficient and disconnected from reality. The future of organizational development is not content delivery. It is capability architecture. Organizations will expect learning functions to directly build the skills required for future business decisions, not offering optional experiences. So what you need to do is use AI to identify the capabilities the organization will need in the next 3 years. Eliminate programs that do not explicitly build those capabilities, and then tie leadership development into business decisions and measure behavior change rather than attendance. The sixth area is in HR role design. Entire categories of HR work will disappear, not because HR is shrinking, but because processing is no longer valuable. Roles built around routing approvals, administering processes, and managing transactions will be automated or eliminated. This will feel like disruption, but it creates space for HR roles focused on interpretation, insight, and leadership impact. Organizations that do not design HR roles intentionally will be forced to do so reactively. So what you have to do is audit all HR roles to separate transactional work from judgment-based work. Automate or eliminate transactional tasks within a defined timeline, and then redesign HR roles so each one clearly enables a leadership decision or business outcome. Number 7, HR leadership capability. The biggest HR skill gap in 2026 will not be technology literacy. It will be judgment under uncertainty, or what I like to call the gray zone. AI will surface recommendations faster than leaders can interpret them. HR leaders who cannot explain, challenge, or ethically apply AI outputs will lose credibility. Plain and simple. The value of HR leadership will be determined by decision-making quality, not tool adoption. So what you have to do is train HR leaders on AI interpretation, limits, and ethical boundaries. Establish clear standards for when human judgment must override AI recommendations. Model transparency in how AI-informed decisions are made, and bring about much greater transparency. Number 8, communication and trust. Employee trust will erode unless HR leads radical transparency around AI use. Employees will assume they are being monitored, scored, predicted, unless told otherwise. Silence will be interpreted as deception. Trust gaps will show up as disengagement, resistance, and unwanted turnover. Communication will become one of HR's most critical leadership responsibilities. So what HR needs to do is own organization-wide communication on how AI is being used in hiring, pay, performance, and development. Clearly explain what data is used and what is not, and where humans remain accountable. Create open forums for dialogue well before fear and rumors take hold. This is where firms like EXXEED can help organizations manage AI-driven organizational change, leadership readiness, and communication so trust is strengthened instead of damaged. You have to be very deliberate in this area. Number 9, HR's position at the table. HR data will become more powerful than finance data because it predicts human behavior and not just cost. Let me repeat that. HR data will become more powerful than finance data because it predicts human behavior and not just cost. AI makes it possible to forecast attrition, burnout, leadership failure, and capability gaps. Insight without action, however, is noise. HR will gain influence only if it consistently translates foresight into decisions leaders can act upon. So what you must do is use AI to predict attrition, model workforce scenarios, and surface leadership risk on a regular cadence. Bring insights paired with clear recommendations and decision implications. Hold HR leaders accountable for influencing outcomes, not just delivering analysis. And the 10th and final area is the CHRO itself. By the end of 2026, the CHRO role will either be the conscience of the AI-enabled enterprise or its accomplice. There will be no neutral position, no in-between. Decisions of automation, fairness, transparency, and human judgment will land on the shoulders of the CHRO. The role will expand in responsibility even as traditional HR work shrinks. So what you need to do as a CHRO is personally sponsor AI initiatives that elevate decision quality rather than just efficiency. Set non-negotiable expectations for fairness, transparency, and explainability. Position HR as the function that turns AI into better leadership decisions and stronger culture. So let me close with this. AI is not the end of HR. It's the end of HR confusing activity with value. The HR leader who will win in 2026 will be the one that leads from the front and champions AI. They will be the ones who used it to eliminate noise, elevate judgment, and move HR upstream where it belongs. If you want to experience what this feels like, Alchemist AI is opening its beta right now, and it's free to join. If you're a CHRO or HR leader who wants to improve hiring predictability, reduce role ambiguity, and make better hiring decisions before a single candidate is sourced, this is definitely worth your time. The link to join the beta is in the description below, and again, it is free to join. If this video helped you think differently, then we welcome you to join our online leadership community. It's a growing community of about 27,000 people and growing. Please hit the like and the subscribe button and share this video with other leaders that you believe might find it helpful. Okay, thanks again for joining us today. I am Jim Hazboun, and this is the Smart Executive. And until next time, let's lead smarter together.